midst of the scorching African steppe, there is a silent killer hiding, spreading terror across the sky. But is the snake really the ruler, or just a fragile from the spiral of life and death? African snakes. The battle for survival on the savannah. Africa. The land where the scorching sun pours down on the endless grasslands. That wild beauty seems peaceful, but hidden in every tree and bush are deadly dangers. On the steppe, life and death always go hand in hand. Herds of giant animals wander across the sea of Durswell grass. Small birds soar in the deep blue sky. All must face an inevitable truth. Only the most alert and resilient can survive. In a place where dawn can start a hunting trip and dusk can end with a quiet death, nature has turned every creature into a warrior in an endless struggle. In the vast African savannah, there are small creatures but possess extraordinary collective intelligence. Weaver birds. They are called by that name because of their rare architectural skills in the bird world. With just a small beak and dry grass, they can create sophisticated structures suspended on tree branches, like living balls swinging in the wind. But the most special thing among the dozens of weaver bird species scattered throughout Africa is the social weaver bird. Unlike many species that only build a single nest, they choose the collective path. A flock of hundreds, even thousands of individuals together weave a giant fortress of grass, which can last for decades. Their nests are not just roofs, but also fortresses, where every path, every corner is meticulously calculated to resist enemies and the harsh heat of the Kalahari desert. From a distance, the nests of social weavers look like giant thatched roofs hanging in the air, weighing up to tons. Inside, each family occupies a separate room close together like apartments in a miniature city. During the day, they leave the nest to look for grass seeds and insects. At night, the whole flock gathers, chirping like an endless choir. Their strength lies not in their wings, but in their solidarity and ability to turn many into one. However, even the most solid structures cannot guarantee absolute safety. One day, as the red sun gradually drifts towards the horizon, the adult birds still fly away to find food, leaving behind weak chicks waiting to be fed in the nest. And that is when a predator quietly appears. From the rough trunk, a long green shadow slithered gracefully. It was the African tree snake, the master silent predator. With a body as slender as a tree branch, it almost disappeared into the foliage. Its sharp eyes locked on the lowest nest chambers, where the fledglings were trembling. Slowly, the tree snake crept into the maze of dry grass. With just one bite, a small baby bird disappeared. A miserable cry echoed in the nest, causing the larger birds to panic and escape. The predator did not seem to care. It knew clearly the small, unpowered fledglings were the easiest targets. In nature, harshness does not allow for mercy. The tree snake chose the young over the adults because its survival instinct told it expending the least amount of energy in exchange for the greatest chance of survival. And in this game of life and death, only the cunning and patient would be the winner. The sunset gradually faded behind the distant trees. The noisy sounds from the weaver bird's nest also faded into the distance. But the African savannah was never truly peaceful. On the dry ground, small figures began to appear, quickly gliding through the yellowed grass. That is the mongoose, a small animal famous for its bravery, known as the little warrior of Africa. With a compact body, a golden brown fur that matches the color of the sand, bright black eyes, and a nose that is always alert, the mongoose does not stand out when standing alone. But their true strength lies in the collective. They live in large herds, sometimes up to hundreds of individuals, united like a miniature society. In which each has its own responsibility. One stands guard upright on two legs, with high ears to detect hawks and falcons. One digs for insects, hunts for scorpions. One stays in the sand cave to take care of the small brood. In this fierce world, raising a new generation is a great challenge. Deep earthen caves are both a shelter and a safe cradle for the young. They are suckled by their mother, then grow up on food shared by the whole herd. The adults take turns guarding, teaching the young how to find prey and recognize danger. It is this cooperation that has helped the mongoose maintain life through many generations. A society where maternal love and collective responsibility intertwine, becoming a wall to protect the weak offspring in an environment full of lurking dangers. However, no place is absolutely safe. From above, hunters like eagles or hawks can swoop down to snatch a careless individual. On the ground, predators lurk like a cheetah. The mongoose knows that any moment of negligence can be exchanged for blood. And then, from the thick shadows, a rustling sound is heard. A cobra appears, known as the sower of death. Faced with a terrifying threat, the mongoose pack does not run away. A tense battle breaks out. The notorious predator is forced to retreat. On the steppe, victory does not belong to the big, venomous species, but to those who know how to rely on collective strength. And amidst the many dangers, the mongoose becomes a symbol of courage, of a united society where the lives of young generations are protected by both instinct and love. The steppe sky gradually darkens. The wind blows through the dry mounds. The mongoose herd, after a tense confrontation, quickly returns to their daily routine. They spread out, weave through the grass, and then blend into another familiar scene. Warthog quietly digging in the dry soil to find roots. first glance, the two species seem unrelated. However, there exists a strange bond between them. Warthog, with its large snout and curved fangs like blades, often accidentally dig up insects, scorpions, or worms hidden underground. For the mongoose, it is a surprise party. The warthogs, on the other hand, pay no heed and continue digging, leaving their little warriors to scurry and forage for food right next to them. The relationship goes further. When the warthogs rest, the mongooses sometimes climb onto their backs, searching for parasitic ticks or insects hidden in their shaggy fur. This symbiosis benefits both sides. One gets a meal, the other is relieved of the burden of parasites. In the harsh world of survival, such random alliances become the key to both coexistence. Not only by strength or solidarity within the herd, the mongooses also know how to rely on their giant friends to survive on the vast savannah. On the African savannah, no bond is completely safe. Whether it is the small mongoose or the tough warthogs, both share a common enemy: bloodthirsty predators. And among them, the most dangerous is the cheetah, the fastest runner on the planet. With its lithe body, its muscles coiled like springs, its sharp yellow eyes locking on its target, the cheetah does not need overwhelming strength like a lion, nor does it rely on its pack like a hyena. Its ultimate weapon is speed. In just a few seconds, it can reach over 100 kilometers per h, a deadly wind sweeping across the grasslands. Amidst the sea of tuwa yellow grass burning in the sun, a graceful figure loomed closer. The cheetah silently crouched down, every muscle tensed like a spring ready to burst. Its bright yellow eyes were fixed on its target. A young warthog was foraging carefreely with the herd, completely unaware of the approaching Grim Reaper. The distance was only a few dozen meters. The grassland was silent for a moment, only the sound of the wind blowing through the dry grass. Then suddenly the predator charged forward like an arrow cutting through the wind. Dust flew up. The warthog herd was startled and scattered, but the young one was locked in place. The chase began. young warthog screamed in despair, then quickly sank into a suffocating bite on its neck. The moment was quiet again, but on the African savannah, tragedy had just written a new chapter. However, the cheetah's victory is never complete. After the sprint, it is exhausted, its chest heaving, its slender body trembling with heat and exhaustion. The scent of blood quickly spreads on the wind, followed by the hoarse laughter of hyenas and the shadows of vultures from the sky. The cheetah understands the cruel paradox. It is fast enough to take down its prey, but too weak to keep the prize. But the cheetah's life is not just a solitary chase. Hidden deep in the tall grass, the females still tenaciously raise their young. Each litter usually has 3 to 5 young. The little creatures have to face countless dangers as soon as they are born. Lions, leopards, and even birds of prey are ready to take away that fragile life. To protect their children, mother cheetahs often lead them out of their hiding places, constantly moving to avoid detection by predators. Every day they teach their children how to stalk, how to blend in with tall grass, and finally the art of speeding up to survive. In that journey, not all of the young ones grow up, but the mother's persistent sacrifice is the thread that continues the life of the fragile cheetah. Cheetah, the fastest runner on the planet, is also one of the most vulnerable species. It is a clear demonstration of the harsh laws of nature, where strength is not only measured by speed, but also by the ability to overcome danger, protect the next generation, and fight for every opportunity. On the African savannah, from the tiny birds on the tree branches, the brave mongooses on the ground, to the cheetah, the fastest runner on the planet, all are writing a harsh survival story. Which survival battle has impressed you the most? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to join us on our next wild journeys. On the steep, snow-capped cliffs in the sub-zero cold and lurking danger, life is not for the weak. This is a place where every leap, every breath could be your last. The wild Alps, where only the strong survive. The Alps, Europe's greatest mountain range, stretches for more than 1,200 kilometers, crossing 8 countries from romantic France to the dense forests of Slovenia. With its year-round snow-capped peaks, deep valleys, virgin pine forests and ancient glaciers, the Alps are not only a natural wonder, but also play a vital role in the continent. They are the source of great rivers and regulate the climate of the entire region. But behind that beauty, there is another world, harsh, fierce, and full of mystery. There, every creature from the mountain goat climbing the cliffs to the eagle soaring in the sky is fighting every day for survival. This is not just a mountain region, it is a fierce survival arena of wild nature. On the high, cold peaks of the Alps, where the air is thin and the wind howls through the rocky slopes, a creature quietly dominates the sky. It is the golden eagle, one of the most powerful and majestic birds of prey in Europe. Its appearance is the perfect embodiment of a master hunter. With a wingspan of up to 2.3 meters and a weight of 3 to 6.5 kilograms, the golden eagle possesses long, strong wings, allowing it to glide for hours on thermal currents without flapping its wings. Its dark brown plumage with a golden tinge on the nape of its neck gives it a majestic and mysterious appearance, a characteristic that helps it easily camouflage itself among the cliffs and alpine forests. The eyes, a marvel of evolution, can detect the slightest movement from over a kilometer away. The golden eagle's vision is many times sharper than that of humans, allowing it to locate its target with near absolute precision. Its hunting instinct is a perfect combination of patience and explosive power. Often soaring hundreds of meters above the ground, it silently observes every movement below, waiting for the right moment. When the moment comes, it swoops down like a bolt of lightning, reaching speeds of up to 240 kilometers per h. With its sharp, curved talons and a squeezing force of up to 400 psi, the golden eagle's attack is usually over in a split second. Its menu is diverse, ranging from marmots, weasels, hares, to even young mountain goats. Any creature that shows its vulnerability can become a meal for this apex predator. Against the misty gray-blue sky, the golden eagle circles silently like a shadow. The air currents gently lifted the great wings, keeping it suspended in midair, as if time had stopped. Down on the distant ground, every little movement, a startle, a dark streak of blood, could not escape the transcendent gaze of the master predator. But today, what the meal was cause remained a mystery. Suddenly, a flash of movement on the white snow made it stop. In the middle of the wilderness, the warm corpse of an unfortunate animal lay alone, its wound not yet coagulated. All around, black crows swam in the air, cawing coldly, fighting for the fresh flesh. The golden eagle folded its wings and swooped down. The crows panicked and scattered. But one stubborn bird turned back, clutching the eagle's tail feathers. Order was challenged. It turned around, spread its wings to show its power, and chased away the troublemaker. When the air settled, it quietly returned to the deer carcass, continuing its unfinished meal. Its pecks were decisive, its eyes never leaving the surrounding space. The crows circled further. Where they knew this feast was not for the weak. Among the ice and the flesh, the golden eagle did not share. It needed no allies, no help. It was the ruler of the sky, alone, cold, and unforgiving. Far below where the eagle had disappeared, between the alpine meadows and the steep rocks, a small but alert world was moving. That's the marmot. These plump but agile creatures are known as the gatekeepers of the Alps. A rodent of the ground squirrel family, the alpine marmot weighs an average of 3-8 kilograms, has thick fur and a layer of subcutaneous fat to help it withstand the harsh cold weather of the high mountains. They live in groups of 5 to 15 individuals with clear roles. Some guard, some forage, others take care of the den. The most special thing is their guarding behavior. Just a strange noise or the shadow of a bird passing by, the guard will emit a long, sharp whistle like an alarm in the middle of nature. In a split second, the whole group disappears into winding tunnels they dig themselves, up to tens of meters long, with deep sleeping chambers, escape routes, and separate food storage. When summer comes and the snow melts, the breeding season begins. Each pair of marmots usually gives birth to 2-6 young after about 5 weeks of pregnancy. Pups are born naked, eyes closed, completely dependent. But after only 6-7 weeks, they begin to step outside, get used to the light, and stalk their first life, always under the protection of the group. In late summer, a silent race begins. Marmots eat tirelessly. Roots, young grass, wild seeds, all are collected. They accumulate fat under their skin, and at the same time prepare their dens, lining them with dry moss, sealing the air gaps with soil and compressed grass to retain heat. Fresh food is rarely stored, because they will sleep through the winter, not waking up to eat. When winter comes, marmots disappear from the ground. They fall into hibernation for 6-8 months. During that time, their heart rate slows to about 3-4 beats per minute. Their body temperature drops to almost the same as the outside environment, just enough to sustain life. They do not hunt, do not fight. But for thousands of years, marmots have survived on the cold fringes of Europe, with their instinctive intelligence. Tenacity and symbiosis, and when spring comes, they emerge, quietly but resiliently, as if they had never left this world. When the marmots disappear underground to hibernate, the Alps enter another time, colder, harsher. But for some creatures, this is when life becomes most vibrant. On the steep cliffs where humans cannot set foot, another symbol of the Alps appears, strong, tough, and surprisingly resilient. Alpine ibex. The wild mountain goat is a master climber. They can scale almost vertical cliffs with the precision of a circus performer, thanks to their flexible cloven hooves and sturdy bodies. Male ibex can weigh up to 100 kilograms, with curved horns up to 1 meter long, curving back like the harsh sword of nature. In late autumn, when the cold wind blows, the mating season begins. And that is when the ruthless confrontations begin. Two adult males enter the ring. They stand tall, walk slowly, resolutely, their eyes locked. Then suddenly, both of them leap up, head first into each other. They fight not for life, but for the right to pass on life. The winner will be allowed to mate with the females who quietly watch from a distance, silent, alert, as if waiting for the most worthy. While the mountain goats assert their power on the high cliffs, in the lower forests, where the snow is deeper, another hunt takes place in silence. With its light gait and forward-facing ear, the red fox is a silent but effective hunter in this mountainous wilderness. One of the most widely distributed mammals in the world, the red fox lives from the forest to the snow, and the Alps are one of its familiar territories. Its slim body, long bushy tail, and pointed nose make it perfectly adapted to the cold environment. It usually weighs between 4 and 9 kilograms, with a thick coat of distinctive reddish-brown fur, both to keep it warm and to camouflage itself among the burnt bushes of autumn. Red foxes are opportunistic and intelligent omnivores. Their diet is versatile, ranging from voles, rabbits, small birds, eggs, to insects, berries, and fallen fruits when hunting becomes difficult. They always act alone, quietly, taking advantage of the darkness and silence of the mountains and forests to approach their prey. They do not rely on strength, but on patience and absolute precision. They are especially famous for their jumping technique, a characteristic high jump, arching in the air and diving headfirst into the soft snow to take down prey hiding below. In the middle of a snow-covered field, the fox stopped. Standing still, its ears turned slightly, like a biological antenna, detecting every tiny sound under the ice. A faint rustle in the distance, then silence. It lifted its leg, moved a few steps, then stopped. Stretched. Leaped. A perfect attack. No need to chase. Just know when to wait. Although they are solitary hunters, red foxes are family animals. They usually live alone, but during the breeding season, in late winter and early spring, pairs form and bond throughout the season. many cases, the male will stay behind to help the female care for and raise the young until they are strong enough to be independent. After about 50 days of pregnancy, the mother fox gives birth to 4 to 6 young, usually in a closed den lined with dry grass or shed fur. When born, the young foxes have their eyes closed, have no teeth, and are completely dependent on their mother. They suckle their mother for the first few weeks, then are taught to eat meat brought back by both parents. Young foxes learn very quickly. After only 4 to 5 weeks, they begin to leave the den, play, and practice survival skills through play, from stalking, pouncing, to hiding food. By fall, most of the cubs are mature enough to leave, find their own territory in life. Although they live alone, red foxes are very attached to their habitat. They mark their territory with scent and sound, a distinctive bark or hiss, to deter intruders. In the Alps, when winter comes again, they still quietly sneak through the snowy forest, keeping their own rhythm of life. Not by strength, but by perseverance, secrecy, and a survival instinct that has been perfected for thousands of years. Although they are agile predators, red foxes are not outside the food chain. In nature, they still have formidable enemies: wolves, lynxes, bears, especially golden eagles, especially with fox cubs or young adults. Eagles, with their superb observation and lightning-fast swooping, can turn a small fox into a meal in a flash. A late afternoon on the mountainside, snow still covers the ground. The sun slanted, its light glinting off the thin ice, and a lone red fox was tracking its prey. Its nose pressed to the snow, its ears erect, its steps both alert and eager. It had spotted something, perhaps a mouse that had slipped through the bushes, or a berry that had fallen since morning. But above, amid the swirling cold currents, someone else was waiting. The golden eagle. Silent. Patient. And hungry. From hundreds of meters above, it watched the fox's every move, the leans, the licks of its nose, the slight movements of its tail. All of of it was in the sights of its telescope-like eyes. The red fox did not know it was being watched. Then, suddenly, the eagle swooped down. A sharp turn. The eagle swerved. The fox disappeared behind the cliff. Silence again. This time, the fox escaped. And still brought dinner. In the wild, life is sometimes decided in seconds. It is not the strongest who always wins, but the one who is alert, half a beat faster. And today, the little red fox survived, thanks to instinct, speed, and a little luck. In the alpine arena, every creature has to fight for its existence, writing stories of survival that are both tragic and magical. If these relentless battles appeal to you, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to ring the bell. We will take you to breathtaking hunts and stories that you will never forget. See you on the next journey.